It's Tuesday stitch time. Grab your hook and yarn. We're making something cozy, cute and warm. New stitch, new trick, let's learn today. Easy steps, I'll guide the way. Whether you're new or stitching pro, come along, let's hook and go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pseudos Crochet and More. This is your host Crystal. It is Tuesday, so that means it's stitch tutorial time. Alright, so I did work up a swatch, you can probably kind of see it over here in the corner, with the Premier Basic DK Multi in the color Lucky. And this is the yarn that I used to do the swatch. This, I wanted to see how it worked up with the variegating yarn, and this actually looks pretty good. So if you're wondering what kind of stitch to use with this yarn, because it is a variegated yarn, it's not self-striping, because self-striping would be a lot longer color pulls. I got a cool pattern out of it. It almost looks like a St. Patrick's Day camo, in my opinion. Now I am naming this stitch What the Double, like what the, heck type of thing, because it's also known as the alternative double. It's a very easy repeat. I'm going to be using the yarn that I used last time for the single crochet V-stitch, which is loops and threads, easy, cozy, yarn that's been discontinued. You can use whatever yarn you want to with this. The multiple is any number plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up, if I can find my end again, I'm going to chain up 33. So it's 30 plus 3. And you can chain however many you want. Just make sure it doesn't have to be even or odd. Just make sure that you have an extra 3 chains for your turning chain. It's all the way down here. Whee! Okay. I am using a 7mm crochet hook for this. It is very bright in my room. I turned on my extra light, and there's light coming through the window blinds from the sun, because the sun does shine more in my backyard than my front yard. So, yeah. So I'm going to chain up 33 real quick. Maybe not real quick, because this might slide off of this hook, so I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So there's my 30. Now again, you can make yours less than 30 if you want to. Then I'm going to add 3 more chains. 1, 2, and 3. Now, to start the row 1, we're going to skip the first 3 chains from the hook. So we count the one right here next to it. So that's 1. Sometimes it can be really tiny, depending on your tension. So just make sure you don't miss that one. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to go yarn over and go into that 4th chain from the hook. Pull up a loop. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook. Waiting for that to focus. Come on, focus, focus. Yarn over and pull through only 1 loop. You'll have 3 loops left on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And again, depending on what kind of yarn you're using, it can be really easy to do that This one is kind of a slippery yarn, so it can be a little difficult depending on the hook that you're using. And that's the repeat. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop only. You'll have 3 remaining loops, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And you'll do that all the way down to the end. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. I'm just going to continue on down the first row here. Be careful, because if you've been doing anything with a lot of double crochet in it, it will be automatic for you to pull through those first 2. Remember, it's only the first loop that you're pulling through. Then you're yarning over again and going through the 3 that are remaining on the hook. I cannot believe August is almost here. My husband's birthday is on the 4th. And in Texas, August being the hottest month is no joke. We've been pretty hot here. We've been in the low hundreds. Yeah. It's been crazy. Yeah, today it's supposed to be just under 100. But tomorrow it's supposed to be 100. It's supposed to keep creeping up. I just want to stay inside during August. I mean, I don't go out much to begin with, but in August, with it being the hottest month of the summer, it's just no bueno. If you know what that means, wonderful. If you don't, it means no good. No bueno. Bueno means good. But yeah. That's, oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, this is only a 1-row repeat. It's a very easy repeat. And it's a 1 row, which is great, especially if you just want to, get something done really quick, see how it's working up so far. I do like the little design that it makes. It's like you're doing a slip stitch and then a half double crochet on top of the slip stitch. So that's why I kind of came up with that name, What the Double, yesterday when I was working on my swatch. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a different stitch, so, all right. And some people might call it something else. It is also known as the alternative double crochet stitch. So I will, that'll be, you should have seen that in the, description of today's video tutorial. If you haven't seen already, Premier is doing a Christmas in July sale. There's a few yarns on there that I'm like, I don't know about how that's Christmas in July, but everybody likes to use different types of yarn during Christmas. I wish I was able to get some of the shimmer yarn, because I could use that possibly for the Christmas tree skirt that my mother-in-law would like to have this year, which is really weird because I don't ever remember her and my father-in-law having a Christmas tree skirt. I never remember having one of them. My parents never had a Christmas tree skirt. My aunt and uncle did, because they had a real Christmas tree while my cousins were growing up, and then once they all moved out, they went to artificial tree, and I never knew how they even fit that in their house. They have a small bungalow house in the Cleveland area of Ohio. They raised 5 kids in this bungalow, which was really only 2 bedrooms and like an attic that got turned into a big bedroom similar to what my parents did. Because they only had truly 3 bedrooms, and then the other space was more of like an attic that got converted into a living space. But it's crazy. I still don't know how they did that, but they did it. They made it work. But is anybody starting to work on their Christmas projects right now, or are you waiting till the weather cools down because you're going to be making heavy items like blankets, or, are you making the little things right now so you don't have to deal with the heavier blanket, heavier material? I don't know what I'm doing this year for Christmas other than getting a tree skirt done for my tree. I really don't know what I'm doing. I kind of burnt myself out with doing stuff for my family with Christmas. And my one niece, she does Christmas ornaments for the family. And so I don't know what I want to do. I really don't know. I tried to do the hat ornaments, the little hat ornaments by Jada and Stitches one year. That didn't work out very well. I would have to just make one for the entire family instead of like one for everybody in the family. Because my nephew's got a big family. And I don't think I even know, I lost count on how many are in that family. So it's like, do I do dishcloths? Do I do ornaments? Do I just nothing this year? I don't know. And the thing is my mom doesn't do Christmas until like January. So, all right. I am getting down to the last 2 chains here. So, one into this one. Gonna pull up. Surely go through 1. And then we go through all 3. If you've ever used this stitch, let me know what you've made in the comment sections. If you're the first time learning this stitch, lovely. I'm trying to stay in focus here and I keep getting out of focus. I am so sorry about that. All right, and this is the last one for this row. All right. So, depending on how many chains you started with will depend on how many of the double stitches you will have. Since I started with 33, I should have 30 of those here. And you can double check that by counting the tops of the stitches here, or you can count them going this direction too, just counting the stitches. So I'm not counting this chain 3 as a stitch, but if you run into a pattern that does have you count that, just make sure that you mark that turning chain when you start row 1. But I am not counting that as a chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29. I'm sorry, 29. 30 would be if you counted the chain 3. So it's 29. Again, if you're following a pattern, make sure you follow their instructions for this stitch. I'm going to chain 2 just to bring it up for row 2. So 1, 2, and then turn your work. If you like to turn your work then chain, that's fine too, but just make sure you do it chain 2. Since we're not counting this chain 2 as a stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 1. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, if my hook will let me do that. There's that. Sometimes you might have to pull through just the first one or the first and second one and then get that last one. All right. And then that's the repeat going down. Now you will see that there's a nice little ridge here on the back of row 1. If you need to figure out where your stitch, the top of your stitch is, turn the work so you can see this V up here. See the V's? That's where we're going to be going into. We're not using this part here. We're going into the top of the stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook underneath into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, or 3. Sorry, 3. 3, not 2, 3. And that's the repeat all the way down to the very last stitch. So I'm just going to continue talking. If you want to stop or fast forward down to the end to see how to finish this row, that is that is okay. You don't have to listen to me talking, especially if you've already, you've got a shorter chain than I did. So we're going to do that one more. I'm going to do that one more time. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. And again, that is the repeat all the way down to the end of the row. So, all right. So yeah, is anybody getting ready for Christmas? If you are, let me know what you're making in the comment section. Again, if you've used this stitch before, let me know what you've made with it. What you used it for. Did you use it for a scarf, a blanket, a hat, anything? Because it's very versatile. All right, there's that. I'm going to have to take a sip of my coffee here in a second. I'm trying to go slow so you guys can see what I'm actually doing here. So I have the 4 loops on the hook, going through the 1, yarning over, as long as this doesn't fall off the thing, going through all 3 loops. All right. I like to try to do that a couple times so you guys can actually see it in slow motion, as slow as I can go without having to edit it for that. Because sometimes I know that I either crochet it too fast and it comes out kind of blurry, or I get off screen with it. So does anybody like fall weather? Or I know everybody is so, not everybody, but a lot of people are really gung-ho about when winter ends and spring's coming and all that. I prefer winter. Even though I don't really go out in the weather, I would rather sit in my house with a cup of hot cocoa or coffee and just watch the snow glisten out my back door. Oh, because that's the only way I can see it glistening. When I was a kid, I would stare at it. I love how fresh snow glistens when the sunlight hits it. It's just pretty. That is my favorite season. Now, I do like fall and I do like spring, but summer, I think it just can go out, go somewhere else for those months. Just keep it relatively, warm, but not like where I'm at. I mean, I could go somewhere. My husband has had offers for other jobs in the northern states, but I would rather stay in the southern, in the south. It's just a preference. And again, if you're having trouble finding the top of your stitch from the previous row, turn your work to find those V's at the top. I'm going to drop that there real quick. Those are the V's that you're looking for. They're kind of sideways here. You don't want to pull this back here, these 2 extra loops, those are not what you're going into. It's kind of hard to see it on the thinner yarn like this, the basic DK, but it does come out to be a really pretty, well, not pretty, but a nice pattern. A nice pattern with the coloring and how it plays out. So I'm actually pretty happy that I chose that color for the today's stitch tutorial to practice with. And that's what I've been doing. So if you're wondering what some of those basic DK multis look like worked up, I'm working one color for the duration of the 12 for, I don't know, however many skeins I got. I can't even remember. I think it was 12 or 14. Each week I have one that I haven't used already. You will be seeing that worked up in that whatever stitch that I'm doing for that week. Unless it doesn't play out very well with that yarn, then I will change the pattern so that it can, you know, I can still use it and show you guys what it would look like worked up in that with that stitch. My husband is out right now on his motorcycle. I've had a long day. After I'm done with this, I have to go start housework. I've got to get my laundry going and check on my mother-in-law to see if she wants to do her normal Saturday thing, which is I help her give her bath, a shower, because she can't do it by herself, but I let her do whatever she can do, and then I help her with the rest of it. And after all that, I gotta start getting dinner prepped and ready, because last night I was supposed to make meatloaf last night, and the meat wasn't thawed enough to be pliable to making the meatloaf. It would have been meat mush. Meat, I don't know. So, and I started, I had to get up early today because I had to make up some missed time from Thursday because my internet was down. Good old Optimum. All right, so we're at the last stitch. First stitch from row 1, last stitch for row 2. We're only going into the top of the for the stitch worked. We're ignoring this chain 3. And again, if the pattern that you're following wants you to use this as a stitch, you will need to go into that chain, turning the top of that turning chain while skipping your first stitch down here. And I've showed you guys how to do that in another video. I'm not going to take the time to do that today because that'll just take too much time to show. I mean, you can go back and watch that. I don't even remember which one I showed that on, but I know I did show how if you need to skip that first chain and work into the turning chain. But we're not working into that, so I'm just going to go and get my last the double stitch done here. So just try your best. A lot of times you'll need you can turn it to see the V right here. Make sure that you get both loops on your hook. Pull up a loop. If my yarn will let me pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's the end of row 2. Oops, sorry. That's the end of row 2. Let me see if I can get this to... There we go. Kind of move my... Now see, right here you can see there's like a ribbing almost effect. There's stuff that's popping out on the back side of row 1. And that is from work, and you'll see, it's from working on the top stitch only. So there's a little bit of a design appearing while you're working this. And I can see it very subtly on this one. It's not as noticeable as on this one. And that's probably because this is a thinner yarn. This one here is considered a bulky 5 for this blue. All right, so I'm going to do one more row, one more repeat row. 1 and 2, and this is just to get it up there for the height of the double crochet, or what the double, I should say. What the double? And then turn your work, or turn your work and then do the chain 2. Again, it all depends on how you work your next row. I always chain it, then turn it. Some people turn, then chain. So, all right, yarn over. And remember, we're looking for the top of the stitches. This is not the top of the stitch right here. You need to turn it and find this part right. Okay, hold on. Let me move this out of the way. So we're looking at it like this. This looks like it's part of this stitch right here, but it is, but it isn't. You'll want to make sure you turn your work and work into this V up here. It kind of goes to the wayside with this stitch, but all right, so yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 or 3. I always say 2 and I mean 3. Okay, that's your first one. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then you'll just repeat that all the way down to the last one. And I will continue talking while we get to that last stitch. All right. So, yeah, I am not a summer person. I've never been a summer person. It's harder to cool off than it is to warm up, because if you're cold, you can layer. If you're hot and you can't get cooled off, you're like stripping. And even when you strip all the way down to the bare minimum, you still can't get cool because some places are just that hot. I know that there's ways that you can do that to internally lower your body temperature, but not everybody does it. To me, yeah, that's why I prefer the cooler seasons, especially winter. I know that when we first moved back to West Texas, I was looking forward to getting some, because we do get snow here. It's very rare that we get snow, but we do get it. And when it comes, it can shut down the city for a while, which is, in my opinion, okay. But yeah, so the worst we had it was when we had that ice storm, that really bad storm come through, and I did that song, "Do You Have Enough Yarn?" Forget the milk, the eggs, the bread. Do you have enough yarn? And I you know, that just cracked me up. Unfortunately, I got the inspiration from somebody else saying that. Forget the eggs, the milk, you know. Do you have enough of this to get you through? Because yarn will keep you warm, even if you're just working on it. I know I get pretty hot working on a blanket, and yeah. So, and it can curl. This is curling on me. I don't know. It could be because I didn't use the turning chain as a stitch. I have no idea. But yeah. And when we came, I was saying, when we came back, the first winter we were back, we had like no snow. Not as much as we had before. Because we used to live in north of where we live now. And we had more snow there. Which was really weird because that's not that big of a difference between where we used to live and where we live now, but it's crazy. But I'm hoping this year that we get some more snow. My daughter Bella, oh my gosh, when we had that snowstorm and the ice and snowstorm, when it started finally warming up from that, she was like, "Who's stealing my snow?" She would go out there and bark at the sky like, "Quit stealing my snow." Because she gets super, super frisky when it's cold outside. And it is so adorable. I hope she keeps that with her forever because she's getting to be up there. She was born in 2019 in November, right around Thanksgiving that year. So that's when we celebrate her birthday. And then her sister Bear, who's usually in here with me when I do videos, she was born in December sometime of the same year because they're only like a month apart. And this year they're going to be 7. And when dogs get up there, they kind of start showing their age. Well, neither one of them, although I shouldn't say that because Bear right now, she hurt her leg again. But otherwise, she does not show that she's aging like, some dogs can, where they just don't want to do anything. They're not as playful anymore. She's still playful in her own way. And Bella, yes, she's the cool, frisky mornings, as we call it. She gets so excited over them. And she still loves to play with her toys. And so I just, for my sake and my husband's sake, I hope they live a lot longer than our other kids have. Our dog Ben, who passed, we had to say goodbye to him because he had some hip issues, and it was not like he would have had to have had a hip replacement for a dog, and he was born in 2008, so he was like 12 years old. My yarn fell on the floor, so I'm trying to pull it back up. Okay. But he wasn't able to stand on his own and or control his bowels or anything like that. And we're like, yeah, we just can't watch him suffer. And one of our very first pet was a cat, and she wound up passing away. And then 2 years and 2 weeks later, our first dog passed away. We don't know what happened with her. She could have just been age, because she was, did I do that right? I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing here. She was at least 14 because she was born in 1999. We got her in 2000. She passed away in 2013. Yeah, 2013. Because by 2014, we were moving back to Ohio. So she lived, she traveled with us. We got her when we lived in Ohio. She moved to North Carolina with us. Moved to she wasn't in Texas with us. And then to Alabama. And then after Alabama, well, we were in Alabama when she passed, and then, so I'm just hoping that and I know not all dogs live long lives, but it just feels like now it's like their lifespan is like going too fast for me. Too fast. All right, that was the last what the double stitch. So you can see there's kind of like a raised, if you put the stitch in the right spot, there will be a raised texture on both sides from that little spot that looks like it's part of the stitch, but it's not. And here, I'll show you that again. So if I were to start this row, which I'm just going to chain 2 to show you again. This right here is not the stitch you go into. It's up here that you would go into. Now, if you, when you do that, it does give that effect. And let me see if I can get that down further so you can see here. See right here, it's kind of raised up a little bit. So it gives a little bit of texture, which is nice because you're doing a slip stitch and you're doing a half double for this stitch. That's the only way I can explain it. Because you do that, you pull up that loop, and then you yarn over and pull through that first one. So that's like a slip stitch. And then you yarn over and pull through the 3. That's like you're doing a half double crochet. Although, it's actually considered a what the double in my opinion. I'm going to pull this back up just a little bit. And this again is what it would look like if you used the Premier Basic Multi, which is a lightweight 3, in the color Lucky. There's the color number. So, if you wondered what this might look like worked up, this is what it would look like worked up in what the double. I know that Creative Grandma does swatches as well, but I'm doing mine a little differently than other people do them because they do them where they show you a bunch of them with different patterns that they used. I'm showing them in my Tuesday tutorial. So if you watch my Tuesday tutorial, you'll know exactly what that yarn will look like in a certain stitch. So, and not everybody's going to use the same stitch either. So, all right. Well, that is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed my tutorial, I'm going to try to get this up here. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just going all over the place here. Whee! Okay. So if you enjoyed my tutorial today, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content and haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.